rookie season, did you ever kind of go back to the locker room or you're on the sideline at Texas Stadium and you're kind of looking around going, I made it? Were you ever like kind of at that kind of moment where you're just kind of like in awe?
Oh yeah. When I I remember the first Sunday coming down that tunnel in the daytime, because you have to remember all preseason games are like at nighttime. Mm-hmm. So I had never come out of a tunnel during the daytime. And I remember when we was coming out for the game, not the pregame, but the game, and I'm walking down that tunnel in Texas Stadium. It was against Tampa Bay when I had my first long run. And it was just so surreal coming down the tunnel where I've been a Cowboy fan my whole life. And I watched on TV how they bring players out of that tunnel. And, my idol was Michael Irvin. And I was envisioning myself walking down the same tunnel as my idol, Michael Irvin. And so to come down it and walk on that field and look up and see the sun coming through the roof, see the fans, I'm like, golly, all the hard work, I made it. I'm here. Now can I stay?
You make reference to the playmaker. At any point during a training camp or anything like that, I know Mike's really he's passionate about the boys and giving back. Did he ever give you any kind of tips or, anything that you could work into your game?
Well, at that time, that's when Mike was going through his battles. So Mike didn't come around to maybe like week 8, 9, or 10 when he finally came in the locker room. Mm-hmm. I had been begging Emmett and Coach Campo to get Mike around. And so when he came, I remember the day he came, if you've never been inside the locker room at Valley Ranch, it's curtain. There's 4 ways to enter, right? And it's all through a curtain. Well, when you come in the locker room, when you walk in the building, you can hear people outside of the locker room because there's no roof. It's just like a big old locker room with curtains. So you can hear people outside of it. And so I heard his voice, and the whole team knew I was Michael Irvin. I had a Michael Irvin jersey in my locker. You can't be a grown man with another grown man locker. I mean, you know what I'm saying, in your locker. I didn't care because I was a big Irvin fan. And when he walked in that building and I heard his voice, and I heard him say, "Where's Swinton?" And everybody just looked at me like the whole locker room was like, uh-oh, how's he going to act? I was trying to be cool, man. When he came in the locker room, he said, "Where's Swinton?" And they were like, "There he is over there." I'm sitting there like, golly, man, this is embarrassing, but this is the playmaker, my idol, like coming to me. And he came and he sat beside me and we talked, man, for a little bit. And he saw the jersey I had in my locker that a guy gave me in college, an old cotton jersey. It was ridiculous. And he was like, "Man, you got this." He said, "You must be a fan. This jersey is old. They don't even make these anymore." And we exchanged phone numbers and we would talk often. He would call me often, man. And that was just the highlight of my career, having a person who I idolized. His posters were all over my room in high school. In my college dorm, it was more Michael Irvin than it was me. And now to meet this guy who I looked up to was amazing.
Pushing forward into the 2002 season, were you around for Hard Knocks and everything? Did you take part in that? What was that like? I know the Cowboys are going to have that this year. Did you find that to be a distraction? Did you find it cool? What did you think of the whole Hard Knocks?
It was fun, man. I was on Hard Knocks several times. In fact, got into a fight on Hard Knocks that was shown. And me and my fraternity brother named Shad Chris. At that time in 2002, I had made my mark in 2001. Mm-hmm. So I knew, I was gonna make the team in 2002 because I was Madden All-Pro, Pro Bowl alternate. So I knew that second season my spot was secure. And here it is, this cornerback named Shad Crisp. Shad Crisp. He and I would battle every day in one-on-one. And one day we got into a big fight in practice one-on-one. I had told him, "If you hold me again, we're gonna fight." And I came back up again, and he got back in front of me again, and he held me. We got into a huge fight. And that was the morning practice. And he got cut after that practice. And I guess, he figured they was cutting him because of me. So I didn't know this, but he apparently was up at the hotel looking for me. trying to fight because he had got cut. I was at the training room back at the Dome getting some treatment on my leg. They were like, man, so we got second practice coming up. And they were like, man, Shad was looking for your ass, man. He was trying to find you. I said, for what? They said, because he think he got cut because of, fighting you. I was like, I ain't got nothing to do with that, man. And so, as a matter of fact, me and Shad talked probably about 7 or 8 months ago. And he said, yeah, he was looking for me because he thought he got cut because of me. That was a funny story.
For the overall team, though, do you find that, like, you really guys got to kind of watch it a little bit more, saying, is there a microphone here? Like, talk to me a little bit about, like, how many cameras are there and just what it's like having HBO there.
Well, that's the thing. They got certain guys they're featuring.
Sure.
So here goes the 4 or 5 guys they're featuring. Well, when you're around those guys, watch what you say. You know what I'm saying? And so my roommate was one of the guys being featured, Randall Williams. Okay, so Randall was always mic'd up except for in the room, the dorm room. So even around my roommate, my best friend, I had to watch what I said because they were always, videoing. That was maybe 6 or 7 cameras, but there was always the main camera with the big mic and the guy holding the big mic, and he following the guy with the camera. That's how you knew they were featuring that guy for this next segment. I think he came on with Tuesday nights, so knowing if they're following Randall all week, this next segment's about Randall, So, but it was a fun deal. I mean, it wasn't a distraction. We loved it because we would all get back to our rooms and we would know Hard Knocks coming on. We all wanted to see if we was going to be on TV, especially a guy like me coming from Little Rock who had just got done playing rental ball, a year prior, and now here it is. I might be on HBO.
Yeah, for a guy like yourself, it helped you out for exposure and got you some name recognition.
Yeah, it did. And also, I always knew to be up front when Coach Campo was talking and or Jerry Jones would talk. I would always get somewhere up front so I could see myself on HBO that next week on the show. So I made sure I was going to be seen. Number 80 was going to be on that show somehow.